morning, everybody. This is Jean here, Jean True Love from True Love Quilts for You. I'm going to be talking today about the True Love Quilting Challenge. If you are new to my channel, you can check my playlist for all of the rules and the ideas for my True Love Challenge. But very quickly, what I have done a couple months ago, I had, with the help of my friend Jen, who it's her idea, we came up with sort of a challenge, not a contest, not a competition, to challenge yourself, your good selves, to maybe step out of your comfort zone, maybe step out of your quilting box and do something that perhaps a little bit different using the fabrics that I've chosen. Plus some fabrics. Now, if you've been following along, you know that these are my 6 different fabrics that I had chosen. Okay, it was a white background, 2 reds, a focal print, a stripe, and then sort of an all-over rainbow print. Now, again, I do realize that people haven't been able to get these exact fabrics. Some of you have, some of you haven't. And the ones that haven't been able to, I have asked that you include the pictures of the fabrics that you got, and they are similar too. It was just a challenge to figure out something on your own. The rules, as I say, are on my playlist. It's just a small quilt. I've just finished my quilt. And I think I'm going to have Jen critique it, because I'm going to do this silly little quilt judging. As you know, I've done a couple of them so far, and I am no quilt judge. You should all get 10s and 10s and 10s out of 100, or 10s out of 10. But if there's anything slightly that I, as an experienced quilter, can see only from your pictures, I haven't been able to feel them or look at them, but the quilts that have been sent in to me, I'm going to be doing 3 of them at this video with the pictures that they've sent, are just magnificent. I'm going to get right to it. The first quilt I have, and hopefully I'm going to be able to figure out on my editing software or not, putting a picture as I speak about the quilt, their description of the quilt, as Rosemary had sent in quite a few pictures and a story. So hopefully you can follow along and I can be able to insert a picture. I'll be able to see. If not, they'll be at the end. The pictures will be at the end of my little blurb here. This is for Rosemary. You know who you are. She wanted to make a wall hanging when I created the challenge. It's a small quilt that I've asked you to make. First, she did use all the fabrics. When I saw the paisley fabric, I thought of leaves, but when I received it, I realized the print was too small for that. So eventually those leaves turned into flower petals. The red dot fabric immediately made me think of mushrooms, which led to their creation. I wanted to challenge myself to use my imagination and get out of my comfort zone. So I thought about what it might look like, a different planet, and I went from there. Thus the name Window into Another World. I also wanted to challenge my skills. I wanted a striated orangish mountains and couldn't find the fabric, so I painted it. Rosemary, you really did challenge yourself. I would have done without the orange mountains. I thought I would try some thread painting to help with the striated look, but that got tedious, so I stopped doing that after a bit. That's funny. I created the background panel, then cut it into 4 pieces and sewed the sashing. So if you're listening, if I can't put the pictures up, it's a window. It's a window to another world. Just so lovely, Rosemary. Machine quilting was the hardest, because I wanted it to look like the flowers were caught in the wind and falling like dandelion seed does. I also wanted a dome-like area over the mushroom houses, but that didn't quite work out as I envisioned it. I had a great time making this wall hanging. The final product came very close to what I had in my head. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? You have a vision, you've really stepped out of your box, and you've come up with a delightful, sweet little wall hanging, Rosemary. Thanks again for doing the challenge and taking the time to judge our creations. Again, I'm no judge. You're all winners in my book. I'm sure it's difficult considering the diversity of quilts and only being able to see photographs. Absolutely. Well, quilt judges, when you do submit your when you do submit a photograph into a quilt, if it's going to be a juried show, J-U-R-I-E-D, meaning that even before you're accepted or not, you have to send in high-def photos. I've entered 4 quilt shows, and you have to send in high-def photos of the entire quilt and a close-up and of the backing. And the judges will critique and judge that quilt and tell you, well, yes, we will hang it in our quilt show, or no, we won't. You've been accepted or you've not. But fortunately, the 4 I have been accepted and have hung, and then you can actually go see these lovely quilts in the quilt show. P.S. This was interesting. I didn't know how much fabric I would need, so I ordered way too much. So did Jen, so did I. I'm making another wall hanging, totally different and in a way that I'm not sure I've seen before, although it will be quilted. I'm not sure if this would qualify in the challenge. Of course it will, Rosemary, but we'll probably send pics later on. I'm not sure how you feel about multiple entries. The more the merrier. Absolutely, Rosemary. Thanks for creating the True Love Challenge and all your previous tutorials. We appreciate it. Oh, that's so lovely. So hopefully maybe you'll have seen the pictures. If not, here they are of Rosemary. Quilt is from Fran. Now Fran could not find the fabrics that I had chosen. She had chosen, I'm going to put a picture up, she had chosen the fabrics similar to that look. And again, it was a loose suggestion because again, if you were following this from the beginning, I posted it in the beginning of, I believe it was October. It was October, November, maybe October time. These fabrics that I had gotten from all different fabric manufacturers, they had sold out very quickly from the fabric company that I had said, eQuilter. But there was a lot of flurry trying to get these 6 different fabrics. The rules are 5 of which you need to use, and then any other fabrics you wanted to do. So if you just wanted a little tiny bit of stripe, but I should be able to see that little stripe. Or if you're using all of them. So it's a fun challenge, I think. And Fran, who couldn't get the fabrics, but here are the pictures of her fabrics. What a challenge this was, not only with the color choice, but also with shapes and stitching, but feel a sense of achievement. So thank you for the push I needed to get out of my comfort zone. I think that's awesome. I too, I'm not a pattern most of the time quilter. I like to do things out of my own head. Because of the challenges that we have physically found ourselves in, losing our home and being in temporary accommodation, I'm a bit quilterly challenged at the moment. So this was, as I said, I finished my quilt, but this was a real challenge for me. Even Maxwell and Ian, who were observing me, were like, boy, you can usually turn out quilts. And I was having a difficult time. it came together in the end, and I'm quite pleased. But whatever your circumstance was, whether it's you're having a quilter's block, or whether there's some trauma, as in our instance, or whether you're just uncomfortable, to have that challenge put in front of you and to actually do it. I'm just so thrilled that, you know, that you've had the push and you've done it. And what a sense of accomplishment for every single one of you. The theme that Fran used was peacocks. And I used fabric I already had. So my stripe sheet is the Harlequin print in number 3. And one of my spots is number 6. So the peacock eye is the fabric, in the fabric. I've been keeping you in my thoughts and hoping you're managing to find a peaceful eye of the storm you find yourselves in. This is so lovely. In particular, prayers for Maxwell, who, from what you've said, is finding the aftermath unsettling. And even with the support of family and friends, it must be difficult for him. It's been difficult for all of us, having escaped with our lives from a tornado and from flooding from our home, which pretty much ruined our home. It's been traumatic, but we try to keep smiling and keep positive, and we do one day at a time. And today's a very good day, and I'm enjoying sharing this with you. Fran's granddaughter is autistic also, and is struggling with a potential change of bed, as she finds any change within the familiar difficult. So good that you have your faith and family, community around you and your family at this time. Stay safe. God bless from Wales. Look at that. Regards, Fran. Thank you so much, Fran. Hopefully maybe your pictures will not, or if they're not up already, they're here to come. And again, my last and final one for today is from, this is from Brenda. And Brenda says, thank you for giving me the opportunity to tackle your challenge. It truly was a challenge for me. Just what we need, right? A challenge in these hard, difficult times, but a good challenge, right? Very difficult for me to decide what to do with your gorgeous fabric choices. I finally decided on a scrappy Lone Star. Brenda, you knocked this out of the ballpark, girlfriend. I used all the fabric choices. She got every single bit of fabric. So when you look at Brenda's quilt, you will see every single one of these fabrics. She included 2 as my backing. The Lone Star is quilted with straight stitching and some free motion quilting on the white background. I added lime green as a border and binding to give it a bit of pizzazz. I've been seriously quilting for about 2 years and learned something new with every challenge. Thank you again. I had so much fun. Love to you and your family, Brenda. Brenda. Brenda, your quilt is absolutely beautiful. What the different with these fabrics or similar, what people have come up with, as opposed to just using a cookie cutter pattern, which is awesome, The quilt behind me, which you've seen before, I used to pattern for that, which is so super. But to be able to, if you're not artistic, to actually do something like that, to have something in your head like, oh, can I do it? And then not to be able to pick your own fabrics, like the fabrics that Jean chose, which are sort of funky. I had a difficult time. I keep telling you, I had a difficult time. I just chose these when Jen suggested this challenge. I just chose them sort of like that. I'm going to be critiquing, probably the next one will be Jen's giraffe. You've already seen hers, but I'm going to be critiquing it because she's finished it, and I'm going to be showing you my quilt. That is actually over here, but it's off camera. And as I said, it was a challenge for me. But it's finished, it's done. I'm very pleased with it. So yeah, that challenge, the True Love Quilting Challenge, if you haven't looked it up, the deadline is March the 15th. I'm only doing this now because if there was a flurry of quilts at the very end, it would have been too much. So there's a couple videos before, or video before here, and then this one and some more to come. So you guys, if you have done your challenge, send me your high-def pictures. I really do need some, the more pictures the better, to describe your quilt and to show me the up close. And hopefully the size will be appropriate. Tell you the truth, mine's slightly big. I was trying to make it. I'm used to making very large quilts. Everything I do is large. I have a large family. I have large hair and hips, and I was finding it difficult. And I just couldn't quite get it that small. That was so funny. So I'll be marked down. Jen's going to critique my quilt. It'll be fun. So anyway, I really hope you're having a lovely day. It's bitter cold here, but the sun is shining. Really, really nice. One of the last videos I put up, Maxwell and I were just out having a lark, having a laugh in the car. He's such a dear, our 22-year-old son, Maxwell. And he says hello, and we're having a good day. We're having a lovely weekend. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for participating and or for just observing. This has been a real treat for me and my family. Again, a diversion from the hard world we live in. And if we're having challenges, our love goes out to you, and our prayers go out to you, just as they are coming to us. We appreciate it. All right, folks, have a lovely day. Love from the True Loves.